Hey you guys. Okay, so I am here in the kitchen and I'm going to be making some chocolate covered coffee beans. Now, I've gotten some coffee beans from Ingles, my local grocery store, and I actually picked the hazelnut flavor. So this is what we're going to actually have quite a bit. And now I'm going to be putting my chocolate and some paraffin wax on the double boiler. So I'm going to move you down there. There is my double boiler. Paraffin wax is going to go in. I'm going to let that melt a bit before I add my chocolate. Now I have 1 cup of milk chocolate and 3 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And the hardest thing to melt is the wax. Might have to turn my stove down to keep it from coming to a hard boil because it's melting pretty good. So I just want to get these melted evenly and temper the chocolate, so to speak, and try to keep my little setup here from, I don't really have a real double boiler, try to keep this from falling down into the water. I think I got enough water where it's going to float. This is melting pretty quickly. It's not all melted. I'm going to wait till it's all melted before I add the semi-sweet morsels, and I'll add the the milk chocolate at the last. I don't want it totally sour, but I don't really want it sweet, and I want to build it up, so I might dip them a few times and then let them harden and then re-dip them. I might even have to lower the temperature so that it's not quite so it's more of a thicker base. Mom has always used paraffin wax. You can buy that's for canning and stuff. You can use it in your foods, in things like peanut butter balls. So that's what I'm doing with the chocolate. I'm adding that to have it a shiny coat, and it would be better to have. It would be more stable on room temperature. I'm turning my stove down a little bit more so it will be more of a simmer. I'm going to add just a little bit here. I'm going to start stirring these. Holding on to my double boiler as I mix these into the wax. And it's starting to melt. Just do all of those now. So if you don't have a double boiler, you can do like this, put a smaller pot into a bigger pot to create your double boiler. Or stick a glass bowl on the top if you have a big enough glass bowl to go across the top of your. Mom has glass bowls, but they fit down inside this bigger thing and not really enough on top of the others. So that wasn't quite efficient enough. Just using this right here. And I'm going to add the dark. I don't want it too sweet. Where am I seeing? Pour my coffee bean now. My coffee beans. Now, it smells so good. My niece always used to have chocolate covered coffee beans in her house, and the last 2 times I babysat while Isaiah was asleep, I couldn't find any. She had thrown them away. But I'm so addicted to them when I'm really tired and I need a little bit of that caffeine boost without all that little extra sugar. I guess also that these coffee beans are hazelnut flavored is even a little bit better. Now this is starting to be a little bit better melted. And I will turn down, once I get it melted, I will turn down the temperature to hold it at the right thickness that I need. And move my little tray over here next to it with have parchment paper on it. Not wax paper, but parchment paper. I think wax paper might work okay, but more than likely the wax and the heat would melt, would easily stick, and So parchment paper works much better for things like this. Okay, so I've got just a few pieces in there that don't seem to be wanting to melt, but I'm going to go ahead and start dipping my coffee beans in there. I'm going to do it this way onto my spoon. Stir them around. Put them on my paper. It's not like you have a whole bean, because I think each of these beans are like a half a bean, but it'll work. And more. Okay, I dropped several in there. Okay, I've gone ahead and added all the coffee beans into here. Get these coated. I am just going to spread this whole batch onto this parchment paper and break it apart like you do bark. I guess you saw that coming, huh? Spread this on here. We'll take it out to the refrigerator in the other room to let it kind of cool. And then I'll break it apart as much as I can into individual chunks. So I'm not going to double dip it. Yummy! Okay, I'm back. See how, if I can get little bitty chunks from it. Maybe I'll let this come to room temperature first. Anyway, so I'm going to be breaking it into little pieces like that. Okay, I've come up with an easier solution now that it's more room temperature. It's much easier to break it apart with my hands, albeit messy. Okay, I've got it all crunched up. Some of the coffee beans have probably gotten away from the chocolate, and some are in the midst of it, and I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag. I will probably did not use enough paraffin wax for the recipe. I knew I should have used more, but I didn't. So anyway, I'm going to keep this in the refrigerator. They'll make good little snacks when I'm wanting a caffeine boost. I'm reusing the Ziploc bags that that I had originally put some of the beans in, or in the milk chocolate or the semi-sweet chocolate in as well. Had two of them. One of them was in the refrigerator with the milk chocolate, and the other was one that I put the semi-sweet in, because I have a big bag of the semi-sweet, or Mom does. It's getting to be a warm day here. This kitchen's getting hot. Okay. This is cheating. But, woo. That's what I did. Just poured it in there. And before I go try one. Now this one definitely has a coffee bean or two, and I think they're crunchy. Oops. I think they're crunchy. Definitely hits the spot. Alright, bye now.